iPhone 16e is here. What you are getting is basically a iPhone 14's body with the latest generation of iPhone's hardware and software. We are talking about the A18 chip, Apple Intelligence, Action button, USB-C port, and so on. So the 16e starts at $599. At the same time, the regular iPhone 16 starts at $799. In this video, I'm gonna talk about the differences between iPhone 16e and the regular 16 and show you what you're gonna miss if you save those $200. Well, technically, it's more than $200 because the iPhone 16, the unlocked version, actually starts at $829. The $799 includes a carrier discount. Okay, so the first difference, the 16e doesn't support MagSafe. It means that there's no magnet inside that phone, and if you have your old MagSafe accessories like magnetic power bank, MagSafe charger, or wallet, you're not going to be able to use them with 16e. Well, technically, for the MagSafe charger or the power bank, you can still use them to charge the phone, but you cannot magnetically attach them on the back of the phone. Well, I'm pretty sure that there will be third-party phone cases that have the magnetic ring built in so you can attach your accessories over, but the phone itself doesn't support MagSafe accessories. And honestly, the missing of MagSafe is kind of unexpected to me, except the old classic iPhone SE2 and SE3. I think the last iPhone that doesn't have MagSafe is iPhone 11, which is from 2019. Let's also talk about wireless charging. So the 16e doesn't support Qi 2. It only supports 7.5 watt Qi wireless charging. Next, let's look at the screen. The iPhone 16e basically had the same screen with iPhone 13 and iPhone 14. It has a 6.1-inch OLED display with a notch instead of the dynamic island on the iPhone 16. And also the maximum brightness is lower than the regular iPhone 16. For outdoor use, you're going to notice the iPhone 16e will have a dimmer display compared with the iPhone 16. They all have the same 60 Hz refresh rate though. If you ask, is it easy to tell the difference between the screen of iPhone 16e and 16? Well, to me, I kind of feel like, yes, I will be able to tell the difference because there were a couple times I was at the Apple store and I put all the iPhones together, the iPhone 13, 14, 15, and 16. And I just felt that the screens on 15 and 16 look more premium than the one on 13 and 14. First of all, the screens on 15 and 16 just look brighter, even I'm inside the room. And the design, the 15 and 16, they have the thinner bezel, they have the dynamic island. They just look fresher and more beautiful compared with the old design with the notch. But I'm not saying the screen on the iPhones 13, 14, or the 16e is not good. It's just the spec of the screen is from a couple years ago. Next, let's talk about the camera. The iPhone 16e has a single 48-megapixel fusion camera, and from the tech specs, it looks like the same main camera on the regular 16. But there are still some differences between those two. So the regular 16 has the sensor shift optical image stabilization, but the 16e only has the regular OIS. Technically, the image stabilization is a little bit better on the regular 16. And the 16e doesn't have the latest gen photographic styles. It's like that fancy filter thing we were looking at last September. And it also doesn't have the focus control in portrait mode. Talking about video recording, the 16e doesn't have cinematic mode. It also doesn't have action mode, which is the mode that allows you to stabilize intense movement. In addition, because it doesn't have an ultra-wide lens, you cannot shoot ultra-wide angle and you cannot do macro photography as well. Of course, no spatial photo or video because of the single camera. However, there's a really good thing that Apple brings to the 16e. That is the audio mix feature for the video recording. So Apple introduced this feature last September with the iPhone 16 lineup. It allows you to isolate the human voice from a noisy background, and I think that's really cool. Also, the 16E supports wind noise reduction and spatial audio recording. They are all the same with the regular 16. Next, let's talk about the chip. The 16E and the regular 16 all have the latest A18 chip. However, the one on the 16E is missing one GPU core. It has 4 GPU cores, but the regular 16 has 5. Well, honestly, I don't think the user of the 16E will tell the difference when they are using the phone. Just want to let you know that a lower price tag always comes with some sort of compromise. The next difference is that the 16E doesn't have the camera control like the iPhone 16. To me, that is the thing I care the least, I kind of feel like, because I've been using my regular iPhone 16 for a couple months now, and honestly, I don't really use the camera control over here. Well, it's a nice thing to have, but I feel like if it's gone, I don't really miss it, because just by pressing the screen, it's convenient enough to me. And you might know that the camera control can also activate visual intelligence. It is a feature of Apple Intelligence, and it works like Google Lens. It can help you identify or analyze something that you shoot with your camera. And actually, the 16E can still support visual intelligence even though there's no camera control. You can link visual intelligence to the action button. So you can use action button to activate that function. And then there are some miscellaneous differences. For example, the 16E only has Wi-Fi 6, not the Wi-Fi 7 on the regular 16. It's also missing the millimeter wave, ultra-wideband, Thread protocol, and something like that. And I kind of feel like those are the minor differences that most of the users are not going to notice. But in the end, there's a huge difference I want to mention, and it's actually a good thing on iPhone 16e. It has a longer battery life than the regular 16. So on the 16e, Apple debuts their first in-house modem, C1. They claim that it has a really high power efficiency, and also because of the new interior design, they are able to put in a larger battery. Because of all that, they're able to provide iPhone 16e a really long battery life. You can see the numbers over here. That is really impressive. All right, those are basically all the differences between the 16e and the regular 16. So now you might want to ask, if I'm looking for a new iPhone, which one should I get? Let's look at the whole iPhone lineup that Apple is selling right now. If you are not thinking about getting the more expensive Pro models, you can choose between the $799 regular iPhone 16, the $699 iPhone 15, or the $599 new iPhone 16e. They all start at 128 gigabytes as well. Well, to me, I kind of feel like at this point, nobody should choose the iPhone 15 because it still has the A16 chip, which is already 2 generations behind. It's still fast enough for sure, but thinking about the longevity, Apple will definitely support the A18 longer, and also the A16 doesn't support Apple Intelligence. And the price is also higher than the iPhone 16e, so that's why I don't think that's a good option. So between the regular 16 and the 16e, which one should I get? Well, if you ask me, you know what? I kind of feel like I want to spend the $200 more and get the regular 16 because I feel like the 16e, it's not a budget phone anymore. It's not like the $429 iPhone SE3. I get it for a cheap price and I don't care about the missing features. I feel like $599 is really towards the premium level. By saving $200, actually we're going to miss a couple modern features from an iPhone. For example, the new design language, the dynamic island, thinner bezel, a brighter display, MagSafe, the ultra-wide camera, a faster wireless charging speed, and so on. And also, the iPhone 16 has multiple fun colors, but the 16e only has black and white. So if I want to get something vibrant, I can only get that by getting the regular 16. And also, I feel like if you are having one of the older iPhones, like the iPhone 12, iPhone 13, and looking for upgrade, I kind of feel like it's hard to recommend you to upgrade to iPhone 16e because just look at the front of the phone. It might doesn't feel like it's an upgrade because they basically look the same. And in some ways, it also feels like a downgrade because you are missing the ultra-wide camera, you are missing MagSafe. It just doesn't feel like you fully go beyond the level. But if you are having an iPhone SE2 or SE3, or even older iPhone like iPhone 10, 10s, 11, in that case, I feel like it's nice to upgrade to the iPhone 16e. Okay, so that's my opinion. If you force me to choose, I might go choose the regular 16. But ideally, I'm not gonna choose any of them. I might gonna wait until this year's iPhone 17 release because we all heard the rumor that this year the whole iPhone 17 lineup gonna get the promotion 120Hz refresh rate for the display. In that case, I feel like the regular iPhone 17 will be a so much better choice. And I will definitely be happy to spend $200 more. So if you are thinking about upgrade, maybe keep your old phone for a little bit longer and see what's gonna happen this September. Alright, that's all for today's video. Are you going to get the new iPhone 16e? Which phone are you upgrading from? Let me know in the comments. If you made to the end of the video, thank you. My name is Leo, and I love making videos about tech, gadgets, and creative tools. If you want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe. Now check out some other videos of mine. I'm sure you'll be interested. Have a nice day.